So we've been talking about how leaders make decisions. And what we've discovered is that when a decision is very simple, it's highly cognitive. But as it begins to get more complex, it's more intuitive. So simple is cognitive, but the more complex, the more intuitive it has to become. But here's the problem. In our culture, we're taught and we're trained to value thinking it through, making a logical and rational decision. But here's what happens. Though when we try to make a very complex decision with a lot of variables, only with the cognitive part of our brain, that's when we start overthinking it. When you overthink something, it's coming from the part of your brain that's called the prefrontal cortex. Now, we're not going to go into this in great detail, but here's the basics. Your brain is made up of the reptilian brain, the limbic part of the brain, and the neocortex with the right and left hemispheres. The prefrontal cortex is the front left part of your brain. Now, what that tells you is that when you're overthinking a decision, you are making a decision with less than 1/3 of your brain. Now, how effective do you think your decision making is going to be if you're only using 1/3 of your brain? Not too good. Not too good. So we want to learn how to stop overthinking it. Now, I have a confession. My confession is that I'm an overthinker. Yeah. Not only am I an overthinker, I'm an accomplished overthinker. I can overthink just about anything. And I'm going to guess that I'm not the only one here that's an overthinker. So if we want to stop overthinking, the first thing we have to do is to understand the early warning signs of overthinking. Now, when we're overthinking it, we've got too much of that cognitive processing going on. So the early warning signs are cognitive. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to share with you some phrases that are the early warning signs for overthinking. And if one of these phrases or more of these phrases resonates with you personally or reminds you of someone you know, then I want you to say, "Oh yeah." So let's practice that. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Let's do it one more time. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right, so here we go. See if this resonates with you. I'm making it harder than it has to be.
Oh yeah.
You guys are great. This is just taking way too long.
Oh yeah.
How about this one? We've been over it again and again and again.
Oh
Yeah. We just need one more piece of information. Yeah, that one's my favorite, because that piece of information, that's the magic piece. Because if we can just get that one, everything's going to become clear. Now, how about this? Have you ever found yourself making a pro and con list? Oh yeah, oh yeah. So here's the interesting thing about the early warning signs for overthinking. There's something in common with all of them, and it's sitting in the background. Can you hear it? We've been over this again and again and again. Well, if we've been over it again and again and again, what's stopping you from making the decision? It's the same thing in each one of these. Underneath each one of these, hear it. It's a nagging feeling. It's a nagging feeling. So here's the thing. The feeling is your key. It's your way out of overthinking, because the nagging feeling, it's coming from the other 2/3 of your brain. This is the part of your brain that doesn't have access to voice, to numbers, to the cognitive way that we process information. But it's just as powerful, and it's communicating or trying to communicate with you through those nagging feelings. So the skill that we're going to work on today is how you can learn to harness, recognize that nagging feeling, bring it into your consciousness so you can use it in your decision making.